Greetings, and once again, welcome to Bud Pepper's Favorite Recipes, a collection of recipes mostly from my family and mostly Southern style recipes. Today we're going to be reading about pies, particularly a pumpkin pie Southern style, and tomorrow a Southern style pecan pie. So before we begin, there are a couple of notes that I wanted to give you on pie making. I do not recommend using the aluminum type pie pans. They're flimsy and they can result in spilling the pie mix before you get it to the oven or in the oven. I recommend using a glass pie dish or a tin pie dish. Either one of those. If you feel the need to use one of the aluminum type pie pans, I recommend putting it onto a pizza paddle and filling the pan and then gently sliding it off of the paddle into the hot oven. That helps to reduce the chance of spillage. Also, I don't recommend doing two pies at the same time. I have done that and it can be done, but I find that cooking one pie at a time is a lot more manageable and it seems to cook more evenly. Okay, let's begin. Here are the ingredients. You will need 3/4 of a cup granulated sugar. Then you will need 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now these can be substituted with a pre-made pumpkin pie spice, which is available in the spice section of most grocery stores. If you use the pre-made pumpkin pie spice, you will then use 1 3/4 teaspoon of that mixture. You will also need 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 large eggs, 1 can, which is 15 ounces of pumpkin, 1 can, which is about 12 ounces of evaporated milk. You can use the fat-free or the not fat-free, either way. 1 unbaked 9-inch deep dish pie shell. Whipped cream is optional. You can have that at the end if you want. And those are all your ingredients. Now for the directions. The first thing you do is mix the spices together, or take the pumpkin pie spice if you've gone that route, which is what I generally do, and put that in a small bowl. Beat eggs in a large bowl and then stir in the pumpkin and spice mixture into the beaten eggs along with the sugar. So you are now mixing the pumpkin, the beaten eggs, the spice, and the sugar, and the milk. And you put all that together, stir it in gradually, and then once it's thoroughly incorporated, you pour that into your pie pan. You then bake that in a preheated 425 degree Fahrenheit oven. And you do that for about 15 minutes. At the end of 15 minutes, you want to reduce your heat to 350 degrees. And then you will bake between 40 and 50 minutes or until a knife that is inserted into the center of the pie comes out clean. That way you'll know that the pie is done. Sometimes you'll see a small crack in the middle, which is not uncommon. Then let the pie cool on a rack for at least 2 hours before you attempt to cut the pie. That way it gets a chance to set thoroughly. And there you go. You've got Southern style pumpkin pie. And one added note, I made an attempt at freezing this one time. Do not do that. It does not freeze well at all. So that is your Southern style pumpkin pie. And next we will do Southern style pecan pie. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, like I said before, you can write them onto my YouTube page here and I will attempt to answer them. Happy holidays or just happy pie eating, whichever you prefer. So enjoy. Thank you so much for listening.